Down south, the American Atheist group has put up some controversial billboards right in time for the holiday season. I think we've got one of the billboards right here. Yeah, as you can see, it's a little girl penning a letter to Santa. Dear Santa, all I want for Christmas is to skip church. I'm too old for fairy tales. Okay, so this billboard is now, right now, it's in Memphis and Nashville, obviously in Tennessee, St. Louis and Fort Smith, Arkansas. So they're going sort of right to the religious people. Now, things like this have been done before. You guys may remember they did something like this last year, or Atheists did something like this last year in Times Square. Certainly not as religious, let's say, as the Deep South. So I think this brings up a lot of interesting stuff. Oh, but we've got a quote from the group's president before we do that. Even children know churches spew absurdity, which is why they don't want to attend services. Enjoy the time with your family and friends instead. Today's adults have no obligation to pretend to believe the lies their parents believe. That's David Silverman, American Atheists president. Okay, I've been doing a lot about atheism on the show, and I'm for atheists. I think they get unfairly attacked in this country relentlessly, especially lately. But is this a good move by them? Like, are they doing a little too much here? Like, is this just going to wrangle up the religious?
Well, I think it's important that atheists get recognized and legitimized more, and it's probably good to have a billboard campaign, but I do feel this one is trying to poke a fight.
Right.
And it's just going to devolve into just aggression and not really understanding, which is what we need.
Right, which is sort of what we're seeing already, because now they're getting a big backlash online on this. I mean, I guess timing is everything, and they're purposely doing this right before the holidays. That's also the time when religious people obviously are feeling a little more religious.
A little bit more defensive, perhaps.
A little more defensive, yeah.
So I mean, I hate this particular ad campaign, because that girl is not too old for fairy tales, and she is wearing a Santa hat, and she should totally believe in Santa because Santa's great.
That's an interesting point. Can we throw the image up again? Let's look at the image one more time. That is a good point, because there is a certain age, right, that we all believe that children are allowed to believe in the tooth fairy or whatever it is. So that girl's probably what? What do we think she is? Maybe 5?
All kids, I can't tell how old kids are.
Let's say 8?
Sure.
So 8's borderline, right? I guess 8.
I don't think kids want to skip church because they're too old for fairy tales. I think they want to skip church because it's boring and they're kids.
Well, that I guess goes to the quote of David Silverman, who was saying, yeah, they're kids.
But I guess I just feel like atheists, being an atheist is the easiest thing. You have to just not believe. So whenever you kind of spread the word of atheism, it always seems a little bit like counterintuitive to me.
Yeah, the atheists are going to be pissed at you though, because they're going to say it's a brave choice to not buy into.
I'm not saying it's not a brave choice. I'm saying that I don't know what the billboard actually accomplishes except for crushing the dreams of a child. And I don't mean the dreams of like Jesus Christ. I mean the dreams of like Santa. And
no, she's writing to Santa.
Well, but like someone's whispering in her ear, Santa's not real.
Do the non-religious people in this country need to sort of band together? You know, every time we do an atheist story, I always say, you know, it's like we've got every group has, you know, they say, well, this many black people vote for this, and this many white people vote for this, and this many Latinos vote for this. If there's a whole bunch of non-religious / atheist people, if they had a voting block, wouldn't we do a lot of good in this country?
Probably, but you know, one of the things about religion is that it's a way to organize people and galvanize people into one specific movement, and it's a little bit harder this way, and I feel atheism is really misunderstood by many people.
Yeah.
Like
so
my grandma she would lose her mind if any of her grandchildren said, I'm an atheist.
Right, so there's no unifying force, I guess.
Isn't that kind of the point?
I guess that is the point.
Or should we get behind like an atheist leader, a godlike atheist leader
Clearly.
that we could, get behind?
Right, but that I guess is the part of this that while I agree with the sentiment of what they're trying to do, that's the part of it that I think might be a little off-putting. Like in a weird way, they're sort of becoming, by doing something like a direct attack on this, they're just playing the same game that they claim that the religious people are playing, right? By sort of mocking someone's beliefs. So I don't know that it's sort of, there's some sort of Luke, Darth Vader thing here, you know what I mean? Be careful about what you become kind of thing. Are you with me? Something?
It reminds me of college when there were these like, and it started in high school, these straight edge kids who were like, no drinking, no smoking, no sex before marriage, very like clean cut. And I was like,
what happened to them?
Well, they all had sex and did drugs. No, but I mean, like, it was one of those things where I was like, everyone knows these are options. Like, you don't have to assert yourself as not doing these things. You can just kind of exist in that way. And people who want to find it will find it. And people who want to turn away from religion will turn away from religion, especially as they get older and more educated and step away from it. When you proselytize in any way, I feel like it turns people off because it's exactly what you don't want to be doing. It's exactly what the opposite side is doing.